Hello and welcome to a VO's Journey podcast. My name is Anthony Pica, and this show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy landmines I seem to stomp on. Today's podcast is all about keeping up with the Joneses. How are you, as a voiceover artist, trying to keep up with the Joneses as well as and growing your business, or are you letting it make you stop and wonder if you will actually be successful? All right, let's do it.
This is VO's Journey. With your host, the incomparable Anthony Pica.
There has been a lot of incredible things going on today in the Fiverr world with some people in the group that I run hitting top-rated seller, and I'm very excited for them and very proud of them. But I wanted to take the opportunity to step back and go to a time when I first started and I was following people, and it was really hard to watch all of these people after the hard work that I was doing and, kind of getting that keeping up with the Joneses syndrome. What was wrong with me? What was I not doing right? What was happening that was causing me to not, grow my business or hit all of these different things that all these other people say? So, that all these other people were getting. And it was really hard. It was hard, I think, because, a couple things. One, I'm a really competitive person. And two, I like to think that, if we work hard enough, anything is possible. Now, I believe in both of those things. I'm a competitive person, and I do believe anything is possible if we work hard enough. But I wanted to take today to, talk to you about running your own race and the importance of running your own race, meaning that it's so critical that every day you grow your business, it is on your terms. It is going towards the goals that you want to reach. It is focusing on the things that you want to focus on, that you believe, that you follow your intuition. Okay, I know that it's great to, get help from me and other people, and I'd like to think I'm pretty helpful. But at the same time, I remember there were moments where I worked with coaches or I watched videos and, I agreed, but at the same time, I had to follow my gut. Now, my gut was telling me to do something and I had to do it, and I followed it. And it's always served me well. And maybe you're in the same situation. Maybe, your gut's telling you to offer something over here or, double down over here. It's funny, when I first started getting work on Fiverr, there was a decision to be made. And the decision was that do I, spread out my business, meaning do I spend my time sending out emails? Do I spend my time calling people? Do I spend my time, growing my business traditionally? Or do I double down on this site called Fiverr? And most people, were, especially at that time, were like, no, don't you dare, don't do that. What happens if something happens to Fiverr? What happens if Fiverr goes away? And for a lot of times, I felt the same way, right? I felt that it was, really a bad idea to go all in on some site like Fiverr. But I'll never forget, it was about a year and a half ago. And I was very frustrated with the way my business was going. I had just come back from a vacation to Alaska, and I had put my account, I've told this story before, but I put my account on vacation mode, which, by the way, don't ever put your Fiverr account on vacation mode. And just extend your time of delivery. That way you don't pause your account and lose rankings. So anyways, what happened was I came back and my account was decimated. And what I mean by that was I didn't have any views. I turned everything back on. I had nothing. It was really just very disheartening because I had spent, a year up to that point, a year really trying to grow my Fiverr business through a lot of hard work, especially a lot of hard audiobook work and things, just building up likes and building up, reviews, etc. And it was, it was really hard. So I remember thinking to myself, I am sick of not succeeding on this platform because there were so many other people that I saw who were succeeding, and I had done the work. I tried to figure out stuff, but I hadn't flipped that switch saying that I was going to go all in, meaning like I was going to make it work no matter what. I was going to make Fiverr work no matter what. So what I did was I sat down on my living room floor, and I had my laptop, my old MacBook Pro, and I'll never forget this. It was very late, and I said, I am not going to freaking move until I figure this thing out, and I'm going to do everything I can to double down on Fiverr. And I remember everything I did from then on was, me thinking about how to grow my Fiverr business, was me writing articles about Fiverr, was me, putting up a new gig, was me revamping, was me trying out things, was me talking about Fiverr. It was all about me growing my Fiverr business, and I went all in. And it was funny because at that moment, that month was probably the lowest month I'd ever had on Fiverr from when I began. And then the month after that was one of my better months that I'd ever had. And then it just kept going up and up from there. And then, of course, about, 8 months? No. But about a year, about a year later, maybe about 10 months later, that's when I got to top rated seller. And it was worth it. It really was. It was worth it. And now it's so nice because it allows me to live a dream that I've always wanted to live. But the thing I'm trying to tell you is that I did that because I felt that was I made that decision at that time on my own about where I needed to go with my business. And there are going to be moments where you need to make that decision. You're going to see other people saying they're making all this money. You're going to see, and they probably are, right? I mean, I like to post my earnings so that you all know what I'm making and you know that I'm not blowing sunshine up your backside. I find transparency is very important to me, but you're going to see people posting these things saying they're succeeding, and it's wonderful. It is wonderful for them. But there is always going to be this feeling that what's wrong with me sometimes when you're not there? Why am I not hitting it when I'm at this point? I remember when I was just starting out, I just hit the top rated seller criteria, right? Because once you get to level 2, there's another big gap between level 2 and top rated seller. But then once you fulfill all the stuff, you're not guaranteed to be a top rated seller. You have to be voted in, et cetera, and you have to be accepted. So I was not accepted. And I was not accepted, and I was not accepted. And month after month went by, and I wasn't accepted, and I was very, I was very frustrated because I didn't understand why I wasn't getting accepted when I was doing all these things. And, finally, I was fortunate enough to get into the Fiverr Seller Success Program. I was contacted by Fiverr, and I had gained a coach from Fiverr to help me with, grow my business on Fiverr. And it was really great, because I talked to them. They helped me. They helped guide me a bunch, but more so with things that I knew. And this is the funny thing. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but have you ever gone to, I know we all can relate, right? Have you ever talked to a relative or your spouse or a child or a sibling and told them, or your parents, that something was wrong, like they have the flu, and they're like, no, I don't have the flu or whatever. And they're like, yes, you have the flu. And then they go to the doctors, and the doctor's like, you got the flu. And they're like, oh, the doctor told me I had the flu. And you're like, I've been telling you had the flu. Why didn't you listen to me? All right. I think that happens to us a lot. So I know for me, I knew the things that I was supposed to be doing, and I did some of them, but I still was holding back. And it wasn't until this person told me, yeah, these are the things that you should be doing, right? And then I did them. And of course, that changed my business. It was a few things I tweaked, and then of course, I became a top-rated seller. But I didn't do them because, again, I was worried about what was going to happen in my business. But I finally made a decision based on some advice from Fiverr, which I felt was good advice. But I would have never I would have never, arrived at that place in the Fiverr Success Program if I had not followed my gut and built my Fiverr business the way I was going to build it. People said you couldn't do audiobooks on Fiverr. I created an audiobook gig and put up my own stuff and put up a resume and all these things. No one else had done any of that. And it worked. And it helped a lot. And I tell you that really not to brag at all, but just to tell you, please follow your gut. You can be a huge success. You can be as successful as you want. But sometimes you have to go after, you have to go after it yourself. Meaning, like, make a decision, try it out. Say, this might work. All right? And the worst thing that could happen is it just doesn't today. What changes? Nothing. That's the worst thing. I don't know why I have all these stories today, but I don't know if any of you have seen that movie Braveheart with Mel Gibson. But at the end of the movie, and this is funny. You know how things stick with you. He says to one of his lieutenants or whatever, he says, what happens if I don't go meet this guy? And of course, at the end, it was about meeting this person to, align with them and hopefully, get Scotland's freedom. And the guy said, what? And he said, nothing. Right? I mean, if I don't do this, nothing will happen. And I want you to think about the same thing. If you don't take a chance, if you don't push yourself, nothing will happen. And I know for me, that's probably the scariest thing in the world, is nothing happening. So, anyways, that's what I wanted to talk to you today about. And it was just a feeling I got, being very excited for some people who are getting promoted, but also knowing that a lot of people have been working really hard to get top-rated seller and have still not got there yet. And it's frustrating and it's challenging and it can be really disheartening, for some people too. And I just wanted to talk about that because I remember when that was me and I felt the same way. And I was so, frustrated that people made more money than I did, or people were succeeding. And it's funny because you could say, well, that's very a jealous standpoint. But listen, I don't want you to think about feelings as always being negative feelings, right? They also can be little things that help push you a little bit harder, right? Like, someone succeeding and you wanting to succeed like them, that's not always a bad thing. That could be a good thing. That could be giving you the extra energy you need to push yourself a little bit harder. We always think, wanting to be successful, or people have programmed into a lot of us that wanting to be successful is bad. I just don't think that's true. I think wanting to be successful can also mean wanting to prove to ourselves that we can do it. Because I know in the end, I want to prove to myself that I can do it. And I imagine most of you are like that too, amongst the other things that we need to survive. So anyways, yeah, this was really philosophical today, so I apologize if it was too much. But if you have any questions or comments about that, I'll go ahead and read it out. It won't be too long today. Let's see, we've got Richie over on Instagram. It's good to see you, man. Let me wave to you there. Let's see, we got John. We got on Facebook, Switch Gaming Joe, Big Jim. What's up, Jim? James Woody, Zach. John again, John as Guinness say, good things come to those who wait. Greg, howdy y'all. Hey, Greg. Jeremy, good afternoon. Hello, sir. John, I can't see it disappearing anytime soon. Well, that's true. Cody, afternoon. What's up, Cody? Cancun Andy, a big hola from Cancun. Cool, man. What's the weather like in Cancun? I don't know the weather like if it's winter time or whatever is there. Ben, I'm still determined to beat you 1 month. We might have to spread it out to different platforms, though. All right, Ben, I got you. If it works, you win. If it doesn't work, you win, too, because you learn. Absolutely. Iato, I appreciate you, bud, but you sound exhausted today. Lots of work for you, but I am sorry about that. You notice I'm drinking coffee. I'm trying to get myself, back to operating position. No, I was able to get a bunch of work done this morning, but I also had some family things to take care of, so I was running around. But I did get plenty of voiceover work done this morning, so I was very happy about that. And sometimes you can feel a tendency to just be like, oh, I did the work I needed to do today. I just want to relax. But I think that's a trap that we probably can fall into. So I'm trying to drink coffee and trying to put on my smile. Okay, let's see. Zach, needing to hear this today. Awesome, man. Iota, I've been working all day. I am exhausted. People need to stop thinking this is easy. Dude, that's absolutely true. I mean, it is not. It is not. Without aspiration, there is no momentum. Ooh, I like that quote. Cool. John, that was deep but good. Cool. Great talk. Thanks for being open. You mentioned you resisted doing some things until you were called out. What were they? I'll tell you. You know what the biggest one was? Talking about Fiverr. The biggest thing I resisted was talking about Fiverr, promoting that I was on Fiverr, being open about how much effort I was putting into Fiverr outside of the closed group, right? I mean, it's nice. It's easy to put in stuff inside a group that is pro what you're doing, like on a platform like Fiverr. But when you move outside of that, you run the risk of getting those emails or getting those messages or those DMs from people who just like they woke up one day and, the Fiverr stick beat them on the head and they can't stand them and they're after Fiverr till the sky falls or something. It's like Fiverr is the mortal enemy to some people. And when you put yourself out there, you worry. Was another thing too was I was afraid that if I said things about me promoting what I do and everything up on Fiverr and how excited I was, and that I was going to be, blacklisted or people wouldn't give me work or whatever. And the funny thing is, I have so much work on Fiverr that I don't really have time for a lot of other work. So it doesn't even really matter. And I still get work from other platforms. And you know what? No one has once mentioned to me, well, I saw you on Fiverr and I don't know. Us and the board, we had a serious conversation about you and your things on Fiverr. No one's talking about that. The only people talking about that is other voiceover artists who are just struggling with making a decision to get on Fiverr or not. That's really all. And that's okay. I'm not mad at them either. But that was my biggest thing. That's a good question. That was really the biggest thing. And what was funny was as soon as I got over that, things really started to change. By the way, this is another thing. Remember, Fiverr too, and people who work for Fiverr, they look at stuff. And I always like to think too, whatever you say out there, whatever you put out there, multiple people see, and people you don't realize are looking at it. People you might not ever have seen what you've put out or haven't put out, will surprise you. What's been surprising me more and more, it's less surprising now, but maybe a few months ago, was the people that I started talking to that I really admired. And of course, I still admire them and stuff, but people I really admired or I never talked to before who said they'd been watching my stuff, or they enjoyed what I do, or they were commenting or, like referencing some things I said, from businesses to other things like that. And I really realized to that point that it's so important to just do it. Go all in, be who you are, and don't hold back. So this is a good question. Good question. Let's see. Hey, Anthony, how's your Monday? It's going good, Rich. Going good. 85 degrees in Australia. Woo! Cancun, hot as hell here in Cancun, but that's the holidays in the tropics. There you go, Lazarus. There is a ridiculous amount of Fiverr haters out there. That's true, but I do notice. I think they're getting smaller, and I notice a lot more people are joining Fiverr, and I know that for a fact because I have a lot of union people who have been contacting me recently, wanting to get into Fiverr and understanding how much money is going through Fiverr, and they don't want to leave that on the table. So don't wait to go all in on Fiverr yourself. All right, send some warmth to London. How cold is it in London there? I don't know how cold it is there in London. Let's see. Richie, you have been a stalwart over here on Instagram. Thank you. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for watching today, and the coffee is definitely helping. And it is always wonderful to interact and talk to you all. By the way, if you get a chance, oh my goodness, I have to say we had an incredible meeting this weekend with the Fiverr Elite group. It was awesome. I think we had about 25 people actually in the session. We're almost up to 40 people in the group. It is fantastic. If you are interested in joining, there will be a link in the description of this, but you can also go to the website, www.aviosjourney.com, and you can sign up there, and we meet every Saturday, plus it's unlimited replays. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. We had lots of people being able to ask specific questions about Fiverr. I had a chance to review someone's account for everyone to watch. I got to go over a bunch of things and got a lot of value. It was a good session. So we also have our private group as well that you can interact and ask questions. So if you're interested in that, I'd love for you to check it out, sign up, and we meet again this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. But like I said, there are there's always replays, and I am looking to expand to an evening time during the week, you know what I mean, later, so that people who maybe are different parts of the world that 10 a.m. Eastern doesn't work will work for them. But anyways, we'll see how that goes, the more people that join. You guys have a wonderful Monday. I will see you tomorrow on Tuesday. I will do my jumping jacks and everything before the video and drink a couple cups of coffee so I don't look as tired. But I appreciate it. You guys have a good one. I will talk to you later. Bye.